really great if I had somebody online so that we could be brainstorming together while working on it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that would have been like really good.
Okay, so Mohammed, can you hear us? Mohammed? I'm not sure. Mo, you can hear us?
Yeah,
Yeah?
can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, so we will, since you are both here, we will discuss your committee's structure and vision. And so now we will start with Cedric. And he's the new deputy chair for the Committee on Agriculture, Economy and Trade. Uh, and I posted on the chat the draft he's suggesting. So if you have any feedback, please feel free to do so. And we will go through this draft and discuss your committee first, and then Mohammed, if he has a good internet, he can also discuss his committee.
Yeah, and I
Okay.
think he left.
Yeah. I saw that. He has a very bad internet.
Yeah.
Okay, so our committee is dedicated to the advancement of the agriculture sector in Africa. We seek to emphasize the role of youth, you mean, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if the word youths exists really, because everybody keeps writing youths.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Maybe it's only in Africa that we write youths.
Okay. We seek
um, mhm,
to, okay. We seek to emphasize the role youths can play in
mhm,
development of the African economy.
mhm,
We increase awareness about the importance of agriculture to the African economy by pressuring world leaders to make agriculture a top priority, conduct
mhm.
research on the issues that the agricultural sector is facing, then provide and execute recommendations to solve these problems. We facilitate the transition from subsistence farming to commercial farming, thereby promoting domestic and international trade while enhancing Africa's self-sufficiency. That
Okay, so I want to ask you first if you think it makes sense to have your committee name as agriculture, economy, and trade. Because if you think these are separate things
mhm.
and that we should have only agriculture and then have the other separate, or add them later when we find people interested in that, we can do that as well. So it's not like we have to make it the Committee on Agriculture, Economy and Trade. This is how we started a couple of weeks ago when we called for application. We wanted to, you know, put the three together so that we have who is interested in what.
Oh,
But
okay.
if you think the focus should be only on agriculture,
Mhm.
uh, then yeah, we can do that as well. So I don't know what you think.
I think it would be great if we had. The only thing that I think economy is such a big thing when it comes to economics that
Mm-hmm.
economy alone could either go by itself, but
Mm-hmm.
and agriculture they would definitely go together. That's what I was thinking, and I wanted to know the reason why it was put that way before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why did you guys choose agriculture, economy, and trade? Why did you decide to combine all three of them to work with three of
Mm-hmm.
all?
Okay, because when we started like identifying which committees, we've chosen 10 committees and we tried, like we ended up with like 20 committees and then we tried to compile, like human rights with democratization, this with that, employment with entrepreneurship. So we tried to combine, and then we found out that okay, so we can combine also agriculture, trade, and economy in one, and then environment and sustainable development in one, because also agriculture is related to sustainable development and things like that. So when we
Mhm.
try to combine like different fields, to make it just 10 committees. This is how it ended up. But I think we were flexible, like we don't have to stick to that. If we think that we have to make just one on agriculture and focus on it because agriculture in itself is a big sector. Yeah. And then we have subcommittees like agriculture and technology, agriculture and this, agriculture and that, then we can do that as well.
Since Anne is not here and she's if you could talk about
Sorry, guys.
Hey, Mohammed, welcome back.
Hi.
Hey.
Got disconnected suddenly.
It's okay.
It's okay. So did you hear the last thing I said, Mohammed?
Where were we? I think so that we are going to discuss the new structure for committees. That's where I lost you.
So now committee on agriculture, which Cedric is leading.
All right.
And then we will move to the gender committee. Okay. So I posted on the chat draft he had drafted, and then if you have feedback, please jump in.
I will have to check out the chats. I didn't see it. Yeah, I'm using
okay,
mobile.
so now we're discussing actually the name, because the committee is called Agriculture.
I do.
Really? It's on the right. You're right.
Mohammed, is it possible for you to disconnect the video? Maybe the audio will be better for you. Just having the audio, maybe that will work out better than having the video.
All right, I'll try that.
I try that.
Okay. I didn't realize I was broadcasting video at all.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yes, we could see your face.
Okay. I'm gonna pretend that I believe you.
Okay, so could you see the chat now? Okay. So what were you saying? You said because Anne is not here.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go off the phone and then get to my computer.
Okay.
Hello? Yeah. So that I could see that and everything.
Yes, that's perfect.
Yep.
So whatever we decide now, you can go back to your committee and get the approval. But we can decide on things now as if they will happen. But then you can go back to your committee and decide with them the final thing. Okay.
Yeah, that will work.
Okay. So for the name, what do you suggest?
Agriculture and trade, because I think those things are really interconnected. Economy alone is unless we plan to recruit, like keep the same structure that Anne had before, where she will have like a chair for economy, a chair for trade, a chair for agriculture. If we're going to keep that structure, and then our committee will have to recruit a lot of like followers in order to like really handle each of those things together. I think in the meantime, if we're able to handle just if we're able to begin with agriculture, related with trade, we will be able to do a lot rather than having such a bulky topic as economy added to it. That was the reason, yeah.
I agree, and I would suggest if we make it just agriculture committee, and then you make subcommittees, for example, agriculture and trade, agriculture and technology, agriculture and education. So that's better than making it just agriculture and trade, and then people would think, okay, it's only agriculture when it's related to trade. But then you want to work on things like education, trainings, technology. So probably we'll just make it agriculture, and then we can have another committee later only for trade or only for economy and things like that.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. So let me take note of that. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay.
فلاك الوحدة تاعهم فلاك الوحدة تاعهم ولا في اسمه هذا في AYM. مش في تيليكوم تمشي لجلوبال نت مش تيليكوم. انت مش جلوبال نت وش هي مش تيليكوم. وين مش تمشي جلوبال نت؟ وين اي في تونس وين يساعدوني يا بابا تيليكوم هذه تيليكوم شفت هذيك تيليكوم هو كاين لازم تهزوا الجلوبال نت جلوبال نت الواحد البيرو تاعهم تاع جلوبال نت هو دايما لازم تهزوا جلوبال نت مش تيليكوم ما صلحهولكش.
Hey, welcome back.
Hey, sorry.
It's okay.
Okay.
Who was that? Your mom?
No, my dad.
Like, what are you doing?
But you could get some French, I guess. Okay. So according to that, you might change a bit the description to focus only on agriculture, right? So then it will be much easier.
Yeah.
Okay, so the vision, we envision.
Yeah. That I did not really work on that much. I don't even know how it would sound.
Okay.
But yeah.
We envision to improve the African agriculture system by training and educating farmers on better agriculture techniques, raise awareness about the importance and relationship between agriculture and trade today. Okay. So basically, as I wrote in the, did you see the document of the structure of all the committees?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, we need to fill out these 4 components, which is a description, the vision, the objectives, and the actions.
Okay.
So the description is more of like who we are as a committee. So are we agriculture experts? Are we advocates? Are we activists? Basically it's like who we are. Are we students? Like the members of your committee and the leaders of your committee.
Okay.
And then like who we are, I don't know, a group of passionate agriculture advocates who will do this and that briefly. And then the vision is usually something we dream to accomplish, but it's very big, very huge. But we believe we will do it.
Okay.
Sort of like really, I don't know, for example, like giving the food rights for the farmers and agriculture sector in Africa, and things that are really ideal but we think we believe we can achieve it one day.
Okay.
So the vision has to be really something big, and we don't have to be scared that it's big and maybe we cannot realize it, but it's something ideal. And then the objectives will be, and I like that you put some like engage, lead, as I wrote in the document. So it's basically maybe three or five objectives, where each objective has its own action. So if we say we want to engage youth and world readers into the conversation about the importance of agriculture sector, then the action will be organize discussion circles, organize hangouts, organize. So each objectives has to have concrete action, how to achieve that objective.
Okay. But if we do that, if we do that for the objectives, what do we write for what we do? So we write what we are actually doing right now, or
no, what you envision to do. So it doesn't have to be limited to what you're doing now, because I think the agriculture committee anyway didn't do anything concrete.
I'll just write nothing.
So it's basically, what do you plan to do, but think about it in a very concrete way, because you need to think about it as we are not an NGO, we are a movement. So we don't basically do projects on the ground. We network, we provide mentorship, support, we map, we do research. So we do things that are more regional level. And then we can connect the grassroots, we can connect different projects, we can support projects, we can support exchange between successful initiatives, we can support farmers. So it's more of not really having your own projects and like implementing it. And that's how, when you think of objectives and action, you need to think about it on that way, in that sense, that it's more of regional, how we can make the bigger picture of agriculture in Africa and how we can advocate for that picture. So it's more like, always think regional, because it's a movement, it's not an organization. And then if you think about it that way, the action will be easier to identify.
Okay.
So yeah, you can be like, for now, since you will be leading the committee with Anne, you can just, so don't think of like, okay, I need to sit down with Anne now and think about it. No, think about, if you have a committee on agriculture, what would you like to do in Africa to advance the agriculture sector? And then put those as suggestions and then discuss them. Write up whatever you think is needed to be done in the sector.
Okay, yes, absolutely. What other question did I have? Yeah, no, because when it comes to recruiting, what is the procedure like? How do we get more people on board?
So before that, let's continue with the structure.
Okay.
So the structure for now, if it's only agriculture, how do you see the structure? So we have the chair, and then the deputy chair and advisor.
Yeah.
And then the regional representatives. And then the support team.
Yes. I think that's the same structure that I saw all the others committees have. You want the structures to be consistent among all the others, right?
So the bigger structure, yes, but then each committee can adjust to its own. So for example, the employment committee wants to have hangout facilitators as separate thing. Other committees want to have subcommittees. But the general structure, which is having regional representatives in all committees, and then having a support system with whatever you think you need, like media, designer, fundraiser, each committee depends. And then having another thing, which is your own, if you want subcommittee, if you all want facilitators, or so there are common things between committees, which is the basic structure: chair, deputy chair, advisor, and regional representatives. But then committee can create their own small structure inside.
Okay. So what I think we'll do is look for, since now we're focusing on agriculture, we'll create subcommittees on agriculture and put try to look for experts in those fields and put them at the head of those fields. And then they will become how would I call them?
So for example, what kind of subcommittee can we create? Agriculture and
trade,
technology?
Yeah,
agriculture and trade?
Yeah, agriculture and technology.
And then agriculture and education?
And education, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, agriculture and education, agriculture and trade, agriculture and technology. I was looking for something like people that will advocate for agriculture, like go to events, talk to leaders. I do not know how I could term that committee. Or if you could just
maybe
be like the general objective of the community or the committee as a whole.
Yeah, I think objective, and maybe you can create like a lobbying group.
Okay. And just, do you know of any organization? Because I was thinking of how we could partnership with organization and see how we could achieve our goal. Like, do you know? I will do research. I will still work on that and see what organizations we could find here. And in the upcoming month, I'll probably be going to Idaho to just go and talk to the people there and see what they're doing in agriculture and see how they could help us, or how I could work with them to advance AYM. So that's one of the things that I'm looking into.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely vital to have partnerships, and that's why the idea of the African AYM hubs came up, which is basically to help each committee linkage to each country to know the.
You're cutting off. Hello? Hello? You're cutting off.
In that,
Hello?
Committee fields.
Hold on, you're cutting off. Hello? Hey, Aya. Can you hear me?
Can you?
Hello? I can hear you after about 5 minutes. Let me see what I can do. Hey, Aya. Yes, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay. So where were we?
You are talking about partnerships.
Yes. So basically, the idea of the AYM hubs
Mm-hmm.
um, is to have each committee having kind of networks, group discussions, links on the grassroots. So if you have these regional coordinators or regional representatives, and
Mm-hmm.
each representative is having is in direct contact with the hub's leaders, and so each hub will conduct discussions, will map the NGOs or initiatives in their countries, and then they can report back to the committee. So if you have a certain it's kind of research based database
Mm-hmm.
that you can have. And also if you want to start any event or workshop or initiative, then you have, you know, this map or database, and you can just
Yeah.
identify directly which partner in which country and things like that. So the idea of the regional representatives with the country representative is to actually increase the committee database of partners,
Mm-hmm.
networks, etc. And as a start, so that's like later, that will be very,
Mm-hmm.
very huge network. But
Yeah.
as a start, I think we need to identify maybe the main networks and the main events,
Mm-hmm.
key events in agriculture where you and the core member of the committee
Mm-hmm.
can go
Yeah.
network, go to trainings, go to represent AYM and things like that, and then start networking.
Okay.
So that's as a start, but then you will have a huge network if
Yeah.
we manage to have, you know, representative in each country.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Okay. So the decision so far will be we'll keep the structure the way it is, then create subcommittees. Um, um what what do you think we could call the people in those subcommittees? Like, how do you think the person in charge of those committees, what title would we give them?
Hmm. Yeah. Do you think a chair, subcommittee chair would work?
Yeah, that would work. That would be perfect.
Okay.
Mm, okay.
So you're taking notes, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll be sending the minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. So the structure is regional representative, then support system, then subcommittees. This is
Yeah.
your structure.
Yeah.
Um, mm, 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 mm. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be the structure. For the vision, I will still think about it based on like what we've discussed so far,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, think about it what we've discussed so far, and then relate it to agriculture more, since now we'll have other subcommittees. So
Mm-hmm.
I will not need to think about all three of them put together.
Mm-hmm. Great. And okay, so now we can talk about the strategy of recruitment of new members.
Yeah.
So what we did in the past is that we opened a call for application for these committees, for all the each position, you know, chair, deputy chair, and then facilitators and all of that.
Yeah.
But from I can tell from 40 people selected, only 20 people continue it. So maybe
Okay.
half of people. Which made me think that, and also, of course, for different reasons, you know, some people have other expectations of what they found, and etc., etc. so this is actually how we improved the selection process to make, for example, interview, because before we didn't have to interview people we select. We just select them and then send them the agreement to sign with their responsibilities, and that's all. But I think from now on, if it's a key position like a regional representative, I think we should rely on our own networks. So if, and it's not only just you or Anne or me, but any of the other committees. So if they have very passionate friends about certain sector and they think, oh, they would be really good in this committee, they can nominate this person to you.
Okay.
And then this person send their CV and a motivation letter, why they want to join, what do they expect, and then you decide. So it's not like opening application for everybody, and then you don't know who is who.
Yeah.
Who make this application. But then when it comes to work, you find a different thing. But if it work and people know these person already, then I think it will be more efficient. And this is actually proved by the people who are engaged in AYM now as committee chairs and facilitators and all of that. Most of them are personal networks.
Yeah.
And then positions like you know, and of course the subcommittee chairs also, they need to be the key positions, so they need to be personal networks. And then the positions like fundraiser or media or these kind of things, we can open application because it's more relying on soft skills that everybody can do. So in order to do this, I suggest that first you need to write down what we talked about now, like your vision, mission, objectives of the committee.
Yeah.
So it's clear. And then we need to make a working chart or a kind of detailed description of tasks and responsibilities of each member in the structure. So you need to know, okay, the regional representative, what is expecting from them? The chair of the subcommittee, what is their role? So then when we address these people and we offer them to join the committee, we can send them this kind of document or concept note with all these informations, and they can go through and then agree. If they agree, then they should send us their CV and motivation letter.
Oh, okay.
And then after that, I think an interview is necessary, because you don't want to work with someone you meet the first time in the committee meeting.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think the interview is more of like, not just like, okay, I am interviewing you to select you or not, but it's more of like explaining your vision and what you really want to do, and you're asking the other person, are you willing to join this, you know? So that's more of, the interview is more of like a chat. Okay, let me see what your vision is, what mine is, and if we think we can work together.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then once you think they're the best in this position, then you can send them an announcement. And between so the people who have taken charge as committees, they started this January 2015, and their term is 1 year, and it will end in December. And then Rahel, hello.
Yeah. Hey, can you see me?
Yes.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Finally.
I'm using my phone now.
Hey, Rahel.
Hi, sorry about that. I don't know what's wrong with my computer.
No, it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. But I've been listening to you guys. Where am I? I'm currently in Sweden.
Oh, okay.
The cold Sweden.
The cold Sweden.
Yeah, the rainy Sweden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Cedric is actually in the States.
Okay. Yeah.
In the States?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We have the perfect weather over here. Not.
Well, which part of the States are you in?
Maryland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Our weather is not that good. It's just today. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like 6 a.m. there now.
Mhm.
Okay, so we've been talking about the because he's the deputy chair of the Agriculture Committee, and we've been talking about his committee structure and vision and all of that.
Yeah.
And Mohammed could join for a couple of minutes, but his internet was not really good.
Okay.
Yeah. So so once we're done with this, we can talk about the Diaspora Committee, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so for the so we were talking about the recruitment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where have we been?
Yes. So we're talking about the recruitment, like the interview process, making sure that our goals are aligned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, and then these. Oh yeah, I was talking about December.
Yeah.
So the term of each one in the committees is from January to December.
Okay.
And then in December, we will do a kind of internal elections of the chairs and deputy chairs from all the members and the members on the website.
Mm-hmm.
And then those co-chairs, they will appoint their own members. So we don't have to elect every member, but more the leaders. And then the leaders, they choose the members.
Okay. I think Valentine joined us.
Yes, I think he made it. Hey, Valentin.
Hello.
Sure. Hello.
Hello, how are you, Aya?
I'm great. How are you?
Yeah, it's me, Valente.
You made it.
Yes, I was right, but I was a bit confused. The GMT time here is 12 o'clock.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So we have different times in East Africa. Rwanda is a bit different of Uganda and Tanzania.
Ah, okay.
So I am sorry to not informing you before.
No, it's okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
So we're basically now discussing the Committee on Agriculture with Cedric. And then we will discuss the Diaspora Committee with Rahel. And then we can, if we still have time, we can discuss the codes. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so basically, Cedric, what I'm saying is that the people we will get involved from now till December is more of like the testing period for them. So it's more of like, okay, we will see how will you perform, and if we select you, then in December, then you become officially, in that position for a year for the next term. Okay. So each term starts from January. So this period we will try to involve as many people as possible, but it's more of like we will see how you perform, and then we can agree in January.
Okay.
Can I ask something?
Yes.
Has that been like the norm to have the term from January to December, or is that just like a new thing?
Sorry?
Has that been the norm to have it from January to December? Because I don't know, especially working with youth organizations over the year, I found that it's better to have it from September to August.
Yeah.
Because it goes with the academic year. Especially when it comes to trying to recruit students of some type of sort. Activities usually start in September. That's when people want to get active, and they want to join new things.
Yeah. Actually, the starting from January was by total coincidence. So it really didn't have like a strategy behind. But I think in January we're thinking more of having 2 years or like 1 year and a half. So there is a group that will work on the elections and how the whole process will go on. So yeah, I think we might suggest this term, and if so, then they can start in January and they finish the September of the next, not that year, the next one.
Yeah.
To, you know, like to adjust it.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. Okay. Any other things, Cedric?
For now, no, but she just mentioned about colleges. I think talking to colleges, finding out Africans in those colleges and trying to recruit them will be a really good source for gaining members for our committee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Students.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And also for the members who don't know how to use Google Hangout, we will have Abu Kassoum, who is the French facilitator for the Committee on Employment. And he will be doing trainings, like online trainings for the new members who join and don't know how to use the Hangout.
Okay.
That also you can keep in mind for the committee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said his name is Gaston?
Sorry?
What's his name?
Abu Kassoum.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
No. Is Valentine still there? I can't hear him.
Yeah, he's here.
Okay.
So I think the first step now you can do is to produce this document with the vision and objectives and all what we went through.
Yeah.
And then to create the working chart of each member.
Okay.
And then we can look at that and finalize it. Yeah. And then we move on to the recruitment.
Okay. Before I joined AYM, I already started talking to one of the youths in my country, and he's really passionate about agriculture. I wanted to know if it's okay to bring him on board so that we could be working on this together. I think he's really excited, and we already started talking about a lot, so he will be happy to come on board.
Yeah, of course.
And he's back in Cameroon, yeah.
Great. We have many AYM Cameroonians.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other thing?
No, I'm okay. I think I'm okay for now with agriculture.
Yeah? Okay, great. Rahel!
Yes.
Where is the big boy?
He's having lunch now. So that's why I can even do this. His father's giving him lunch.
I was wondering.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So should we talk about the diaspora committee?
Yes.
Yeah. So now that I'm, I guess, living in the diaspora again, I guess you could say, I think actually it's always been a goal of not just AYM, but a lot of youth organizations to make sure that, you know, they're able to use the most of the resources outside of Africa too, right? Because us Africans, we're everywhere.
Yes.
And then, of course, when it comes to, you know, different issues like migration or brain drain, development in Africa, or you might call the anti-imperialist movement too. You know, there's plenty of people of African origin abroad that would like to participate. So I think it would be a really good resource for AYM to include the diaspora. And then now, since I'm actually out here, And since I do have experience with mobilizing people in the diaspora, it's always been in my mind, how can we get more people involved? Especially since it's a movement, it's cross-border, and it's also cross-continental, if that's the right word to use. But in terms of how does it fit into the AYM structure, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. Of course, it can be a committee just like any other committee, but I heard you talking about, having subcommittees and I think regional, right? If I understood, having focal people in each country. Yeah, but I don't know. We can discuss how that would work in this committee. But there's definitely topics of discussion, and in fact, a friend of mine last week came across the AYM website, and he asked me how, what is it about, and if AYM could somehow be part of this current campaign. The UN has dedicated this following decade as a decade for people of African descent. And through his organization and through, maybe not saying the exact, I think it's called the European Network Against Racism or something. How can AYM get involved? He asked me this question. And I told them I can discuss it with my colleagues. So through this committee and also through cross-committee campaigns, I think we could play a good role. I can forward you links to more information about this, but a fun fact, the head of this committee, or the chairwoman of this Decade for People of African Descent is Frantz Fanon's daughter.
Okay.
Those who know Frantz Fanon. So, definitely some revolutionaries are involved in this type of stuff. Also, as I'm going to, as I'm pursuing my master's at Lund University, me and another girl, we're starting an association on African affairs. I'm at Lund University to have some type of African presence, because there really is no there's plenty of African students, but I think there's really 2 whole courses throughout the whole university that might involve Africa. But of course, they talk about Africa when it comes to development issues and all the problems that we have, yada yada yada. But even that type of work, networking with different universities, with the African student associations there, I think that's something that AYM could get involved in.
Yeah.
There's also the ADINA, the African Youth Network, African Diaspora Youth Network in Europe, which would be a viable partner as well. Yeah, and then we would just do campaigns regarding this decade of people of African descent, anti-racism movement, even showing solidarity with those of the United States, for instance, with the hashtag Black Lives Matter. The migration crisis, the so-called migration crisis, is definitely an intercontinental issue that very much lacks the voice of African youth. And then what we call decolonization of knowledge. Yeah, how is knowledge produced about Africa, about African youth? How are we developing young African scholars? Is there enough space for them to voice their opinion, or are we going to continue just having white, male, Western experts on our issues? So yeah, that's it. Those are the ideas that I have written down so far.
That's great.
And that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So actually, the idea in the committee
is anybody else getting difficulties?
Yeah, I am. I can't hear Aya very well.
And then I added in each committee. Can you hear me now?
Kind of.
A little bit.
Hello? Hello? I think she... Hey, Aya?
Yeah, she's breaking up a little bit.
Yeah. Hey, she can... Okay. Okay, let's see. It's okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Yes, now I can.
You were saying something? Hello, Aya?
And we have a diaspora representative in each committee. So I was thinking if these diaspora representatives in each committee can also meet all of them like once a month to discuss about the diaspora, and then also to discuss what they have done in different committees and how that relate to the diaspora. So when I think about all the ideas that you mentioned, I'm thinking we can work on like three main
I can't hear you again.
if we call it can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was saying, when I was thinking about what you were suggesting, I think we can work on three main axes, which is research, campaigning and advocacy, and lobbying.
Yeah.
So if you know, when you said about like decolonization of knowledge and migration crisis and all of that, I think we can do, we can produce knowledge and produce some kind of research and change somehow the narrative through, you know, papers, call for papers for Africans to write, or blogging and things like that. So it's more of like research oriented. And then the second axe could be advocacy campaigning, which is joining and supporting other campaigns or creating our own and try to connect all the movements and networks in one voice and things like that. And then the third one I'm thinking about is
You're
I
cutting off
think
a
you're
bit.
saying lobbying.
also in representation. Sorry?
I didn't. You said in the third one, and then it started
Okay.
getting
So the
lobbying.
third one,
Yeah.
lobbying. So what I'm thinking of lobbying is that there is, at the big structures and big institutions, there is no the crucial issues of diaspora on the table, and it's vice versa. So in Africa and in the diaspora. So if we can have a kind of lobbying group where these kind of research and these kind of campaigns outcomes, we can put them there on the table of discussion at the high level. So if we can work on long term on advocating to have a seat in these institutions where we are there to voice these kind of things we have been campaigning about or researching about. So if I think of all the things you mentioned, this is how I structure it in terms of research, advocacy, campaigning, and lobbying. And in each one we can partner with different networks. And yeah, I think the people of African descent, Adine, and all of that are key partners. So I don't know. And your new African Affairs Association as well.
I mean, that's just like one like very small part of it. I mean, but I think there's plenty of African student unions in major universities across Europe, and I would think so the United States as well. So I mean, it would be great if AYM would be, I wouldn't say an umbrella for them, but some point of reference for all of them to take part in what would be a global network at that time. But you know what you said about for me personally, I think it's very crucial that we connect what's happening in the diaspora and what's happening within Africa. The crucial issues for youth in terms of employment, gender, agriculture in Africa, we really need to basically make those in the diaspora also see these as crucial issues, and then they would, through whichever way that they can, contribute to those youth issues. I mean, I really, I don't know, because I've been working for this for years, although, you know, the relationship is very much mutual, I really do think that those in the diaspora should be contributing more inside than the other way around. And so the idea that there's representatives of the diaspora in each committee. I think that's really good. And we need to improve our communication mechanisms so that even those who might participate in the diaspora hangouts, right, they would still know exactly what's going on in the other committees.
Yeah. So what I was thinking is that these kind of representatives in different committees themselves, for example, if we say now we have 7 committees, so we need 7 representatives, then they themselves form another kind of group by themselves. So they diffuse information into those committees, but they also discuss as a group what we can do. And this group is the one that can talk with partners, can support campaigns, so it's also a working group by itself, but it diffuses information and gets us information from the different committees. And
but how about like the member recruitment? I mean, we could have like hangouts for those 7 representatives, but how do we reach out to other people?
So what you said about like connecting African inside and African outside, I think that's a good strategy to recruit different members. And if we have the hangouts, if it's a hangout leading by diaspora group, doesn't mean that the issues will be only diaspora, but how to connect these issues. Like you said, migration is cross issue. So if you have the
You're breaking up again.
Africa is like new risk. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Now, yeah.
Okay. So what I'm saying is that they can discuss issues that are cross borders, like migration, and how migration actually affects how people in Africa, the youth, are living and risking their lives in the Mediterranean to go and have an opportunity in Europe, and how they live there. And so I think the issues that we choose for the hangouts should bring both on the same table to discuss, and not just be an issue of like only diaspora issue, but how to make these hangouts issue attract Africans inside. And I think also, through the different networks and partners, we can recruit new members and the campaigns, but we can also build a whole strategy to do that.
Yeah. I think the diaspora committee will be like a good recruiting instrument for us, depending on how how strong it grows, because it will be good for our regional regional support from for the various committees. So since she has been working with youth for a while and working in things like this for a while, I'm sure if she talks to the people that she knows, Africans that she knows, we should be able to really get our like regional chairs or regional directors for the various committees, which I think is really necessary for us to achieve most of our goals. And the more if they're in the various countries that they're located in, the more advantage I think we will have. So I think the diaspora committee will be really crucial for us and really helpful to get our regional directors, or however we call it.
Actually,
Oh, I can't hear you.
At all.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Now, yeah.
Okay, so what I was saying is that somehow, without calling for people in diaspora, we have like 6 members who are in different positions in AYM who are diaspora, from Colombia, from China, so it's somehow they are everywhere, and I noticed that the most committed and involved and engaged people are from the diaspora.
Hello, Aya?
Yeah, I can't hear you again.
Yeah. Her internet was fine a while ago. I don't know what happened. I think Rael, you came in and took her connection.
No.
Now you can speak. She cannot speak.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Because I'm buying internet, so it's finishing. That's why it's cutting.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But how do you think we go about this, Rahel? The next step?
Good question. Okay, so let me develop some type of information document, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you disseminate it to all those members of the diaspora representatives,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can have some type of hangout soon to discuss that.
Okay.
And how to move forward
Mm-hmm.
with that one. But I must say that I think the communication strategy of AYM needs just a little bit more improvement in the sense that people need more information on the website. If we had things like a newsletter, that would be really
Yeah.
helpful. Because, I mean, there's just so much information to give, but as of now, it's only the Facebook page and then the website, which is not so readily updated.
Yeah, I agree.
So what should we do about that?
Yeah. Actually, well, the media team that we have, which is 5 people, it's a bit lazy, but the newsletter has been on the minutes since 5 months. So yeah, we like they started the AYM of the month. They said they would do the newsletter, the blog as well that started 2 months ago. So yeah, the newsletter is definitely a good way to communicate what we're doing, but maybe they need a bit more of push.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and also one thing that we needed to think about was how to incentivize Africans to get engaged, like the Africans in Africa, because for us, our own incentive is we want to give back. We've been there. We know what it is like to be in Africa. But for somebody in Africa, it's really hard to come out of like the hunger or unemployment or all these other things and participate in something like this, a hangout where you do not really see like, oh, the immediate benefit for it. For me, I see the benefit, but for somebody in Africa, they do not really see like, what would I gain from this? Would I just sit and talk, or like, what would I gain from this? Even though I know the answer will be the person is supposed to be driven, but either way, the people that we're trying to reach would not really be excited about this if there's not something like food or something. For us in the diaspora, I think we can rationalize this because most of our basic needs at times are met, whereas for those back home, they're still like looking for employment, looking for food. I do not know how we could really make this like make it more attractive to the African population. I know raising awareness and making like AYM more popular and making it well known would be a good way to like pull people in, like making people want to belong to it. Yeah, but that's as of now, that's the main thing that I could think of, like making sure that we become really popular, put ourselves on the map, as Aya will put it, and we will be able to recruit more people that way. That would be my suggestion. But if there are other way of making it more attractive to Africans, I think that would be very helpful because in the long run, those are the people that we want to get engaged and want to be able to mobilize when we need them for various initiatives.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple of things we need to keep in mind. The first thing, of course, is the digital divide, right? Although like internet access and smartphones are really on the rise in Africa, it still doesn't mean that everybody has access. And then on top of that, I think we should remind ourselves how very diverse Africa is. And so our challenges are very diverse and very localized, right? I mean, for instance, in my country, in Eritrea, the challenges that young people have in one region could be very different from those who live in another region. Yeah, boo boo. Yeah, Ezra.
He's contributing. Hey.
Yeah. Hey, man. Hi.
How are you? So cute.
Yeah, I guess. He's almost 2 years old. He'll be 2 in September. Yeah. Yeah. So So the local challenges are very localized because of challenges. Yeah, yeah, boo boo. Yeah, boo boo. Mama. Yeah, yeah. Um. So what? And then okay. And then the last, like the third major thing, why maybe we don't have so many recruits in within Africa, has to do with the fact that a lot of the youth institutions have failed young people, and so they've lost trust. With these institutions. But like I heard you earlier, when you said that this is a movement, not an NGO. I think that's very important for us to promote and to remind people, that this is more than trying to get funds or whatever. This is a vision. This is building up and keeping the momentum and empowering people. So I would, even though it might be a little bit difficult to do as of yet, if we would have campaigns, and these campaigns would, sorry, 1 second, and if these campaigns would try to train people who would then move these campaigns to people that are at the weekend of the digital divide, then we might get there somewhere. If you understand what I mean. So our committee members, would be trained or would be empowered to partake in some type of campaign, and then we create a maybe some type of toolkit that helps them train people who do not have internet access.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, I totally agree. And actually, somehow, like, we did only one campaign, and many of the people that got engaged after are from that campaign, though it was, very simple. The Africa Smile campaign, it was really pretty simple. And many people just got involved, and they were asking how we can get more
Aya, you're cutting off.
Campaign, absolutely. Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
No.
Yeah, now.
Okay. So I was saying that though Africa Smile campaign was very simple, it succeeded to engage more people, and they were all asking how we can get engaged more. So campaigns is an effective way, and I totally agree on the training of people. And I think when we started AYM, maybe that was one of the challenges, is that we didn't train people, but the hangouts were more on like discussion based. But I think more of online training, kind of online workshops and things like that, would help people to be empowered to have their own skills and then to pass it on to other people. And maybe the AYM hubs or kind of these groups in grassroots in different countries also can help recruit more people to meet face to face, and not just to be some kind of online network, but to take it out to the grassroots and to the offline and have people meet and discuss things. Yeah, I basically agree on all what you said, and I think recruiting more people depends on the different incentives you give to people. And I think we have different types of people expectations from AYM. So there are people who are already empowered and already leading, and they just want to support because they know the network or they know me or things like that, like personal networks. And there are people who I think who are just students or just started on getting involved in community activities, and they just want to get experience. They want to be part of something. And I think we, as you said, we should target students because these are the people who are not very busy with.
Well, you're breaking up.
In terms of work, you hear me?
Yeah. You go on for a while before you notice.
I'm so desperate with this internet. Okay, the digital divide.
Okay, yeah.
So basically, I'm saying that students is a good target because they're not very busy with life and responsibilities, and they're, they have more time to get involved in different activities. And if we want to get more people involved, we might focus on, of course, networking and partnering with NGOs, but I think also students is a big and huge target, especially once they graduate and at least they have, like we nurture some kind of vision in them
and they
before they go on to the actual work and job market. Yes. Okay. In terms of communication, Rahel, do you have other ideas beside the newsletter?
There's different tools available online. Okay, so you can have the e-newsletter, right? Just using this what do you call it, chimp mail.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also this other, I think it's called paper in. It's like a soft. I haven't used it, but I've seen people use it before, where you make basically daily newspapers, and you're able to collect these different articles by searching for keywords or certain hashtags or something like this. You can include links to videos. Maybe something like that would be easy to maintain, and of course very easy to disseminate too, because you just need people to subscribe to it. Yeah, I think that's, considering the resource, I wouldn't say lack of resources, but how, of course, people are quite busy with their daily lives. I think those are quite effective ways. In the long run, if we can, have training videos, like make online videos, or promotional videos too, that would be really great. Do we have like a tagline, like a slogan, a particular slogan for AYM?
Yeah, I think that question is for you.
I don't know if she.
Okay.
She thinks she's trying to talk, but.
Yeah. Aya, you're speaking sign language right now. Aya?
I'm saying that, can you hear me right now? Can you hear me?
Now we can, yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
She cannot hear us.
Hello?
Talk. Yeah, talk.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh my God.
Hello, Aya, we can hear you. Aya?
Hello?
Aya? I think she got disconnected. Okay.
Yeah, I see her now.
Yeah.
Oh, but not.
Yeah, not too long.
So let me ask you, what are you doing in the United States now? Are you living there?
Yes. So I'm studying. I'm doing my bachelor's in economics and then working. I work at the Ritz-Carlton. I know, yes. Then I'm in the African Youth Movement now. So then Global Youth Ambassador for the World at School too. Yeah. So those are the things that I'm engaged in. What about you?
I'm currently a master's student at Lund University.
Okay.
Studying global studies.
Oh, cool.
But my my passion is post-colonial studies
Oh,
and,
okay.
and feminist studies,
Oh,
post-colonial feminist theory.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
And how long have you been in Sweden?
2 years.
Oh, okay, okay. You grew up in Eritrea?
Yeah, but when I was a child, I lived in the United States.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. That's why I'm like the accent. I've
Yeah,
been trying to pick it up. Like, is that how they speak in Sweden? But it was really American.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. What's
When
your
I was
what's your
young,
son, what's your son's name?
Ezra.
Ezra.
Yeah,
Okay. He's cute.
thank you.
Good. I think they muted Valentine. I don't know why Aya did that.
I think he muted himself. I can only see his
Oh,
forehead.
yeah. Hey, Valentine, we can only see your forehead. Can you adjust your computer? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hmm.
Um, but anyway, mm, whenever Aya comes back.
Yeah. Um, um,
But
I'll try to send her a message, maybe.
yeah, can yeah. Whenever she gets back, then we'll continue. So
Is that her trying to get on?
I think so. It's still showing that hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes,
can
now
hear
we
you.
can.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Internet. Internet's terrible. Okay. You were asking about something, Real?
About the slogan.
About AYM
Oh,
slogan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually came up with different slogan, but we never decided on one to have it like.
Do you remember what it was?
But they were like more generic, engage, inspire, things like that, like
mm,
very generic slogans. And I think that's why we didn't decide on one because very typical.
yeah. No, I mean, whatever. The reason why I ask is just because, we need to have a marketable line, um, and then through that marketable slogan or hashtag or whatever you want to call it, I think all of us can engage in promoting AYM, but it
Mm-hmm.
should be something that grabs people's attention a bit.
Yeah. We have the same problem with vow, actually. The
Mm,
slogan.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Should think.
Think of a slogan, yeah.
When with the blog, who has access to it? Only the media committee?
Yes, for now it's more of, but they built kind of where you can have a user's website and they can just log in and send their contributions. But for now they've been publishing blogs themselves on the website.
Okay.
But it is possible now to have kind of contributor profile where you can post your own blog on.
Okay.
As a member?
Yeah, as a member. So the member,
Okay.
you can be just giving some access to post a blog.
Okay.
Okay. That would be good. Better way of communicating. So you were saying something about like a small meeting of about 50 people, AYM. I think I saw something in one of your email about that.
Yeah, the fundraising, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of fundraising for a small meeting of the different committees,
Mm-hmm.
around 40 people, or in Tunisia next year.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of found like some support here to do a meeting, so I can handle kind of local logistics, but still the flights, we need to find somehow a way to fundraise for the different flights and visas for people to come.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Maybe we could see with airlines and see if we could get a discounted rate for
Mm-hmm.
those that will be happy to support us. Like, just do that research.
Mm-hmm.
I could work on that. I do not have any connections there, but I could just work on that and see. And I do work in the hotel industry. I do not know if in Tunisia you guys have Marriott or IHG. If you have any of those companies, I might be able to help with discounting the hotel rates.
Mm. Okay.
If you have, and if you guys have IHG or Marriott.
I didn't hear of them, but I will check again.
Yeah. Those would be the major companies. Then if you have any of those, like that's the main, that's the main organization. Then they have other branches. So if you have any of those, then I should be able to assist with like the rates and making it lesser.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I also had some suggestions from people that the membership online can also bring sponsorship, and one of the people is working on that as well, to make a list of the kind of potential sponsors who do these things. But that means we should increase also our online membership to 1,000 or something like that.
Okay. As of now, do we have any partnership with any companies?
No, we don't have partnership.
Okay. I
Yeah,
think that's
but this is more directed towards companies, actually. It's not
yeah.
NGOs, but companies sponsor that.
Okay. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, so we could work on seeing organizations, because AYM is made in such a way that we could really reach almost any organization that has a social responsibility. So just presenting our various committees, what we do, I'm sure because we work in education and all the things that most companies that are socially responsible will be interested in. So since we're in the developing stage, it will be really good if we come out with things like our vision, as we spoke earlier, and then use that as our sales pitch to these organizations to see how we could work together or have them assist us to achieve their social responsibility goals. So yeah.
Yeah. Anything else?
No, for now that's all. And by the way, the person that was working on the code of conduct, I think they did a great job.
Yeah, Valentin, I saw the document.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Yeah, I think they did a great job. Yeah, I went through it and it looks amazing. I think that would be nice. Sending it to a new recruit would be really good because they will know that we're really serious, and it's a good way to start. Then what else? Please, could you explain the caricature campaign?
Yeah. So it's basically an idea. So I think the Committee on Governance will lead this campaign, but it's more of like making kind of buzz on corruption in Africa, and it's more of like not only shaming the African leaders, but also what kind of Western intervention and influence on Africa, and trying to mock, this relationship of how the West is affecting Africa in terms of corruption, and then also the African leaders in different countries. And so it's more of like a shocking campaign with cartoons. But the idea is also to kind of diffuse these cartoons in the different national African medias in the countries where, if they choose,
Well, can't hear.
Leader in certain this cartoon.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I knew that was coming. Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, so it's more of also of like diffusing. If the cartoon is about a certain African leader or a Western leader, it's also about diffusing this in the media, national media of their own countries, to make it more of a buzz in the country itself.
Oh, okay.
And then, so the first phase of the campaign is more of having, the best, I don't know, 20 kind of caricature anti-corruption, and then open it to everyone who would like to join and send their caricatures.
Oh, okay, okay.
But that was the basic idea from like Stella and the government committee.
Okay.
But what is it, what are the characters? Okay, so when you say what are they? What is the? Okay, I know you have the theme of corruption, yeah. But what is exactly the target? Are we going to just like have funny pictures of our presidents, or yeah?
Yeah,
How is
so
that?
basically the message is more of like a situation of corruption and mocking that situation. So it's not like having fun of our leader, but having fun of how corruption process works in terms of like inside Africa, inside the country, or with the Western influence on it. So it's mocking the situation of corruption,
Yeah.
which might trigger, the thought of people who will watch this and try to link it to different situations. The target, yeah, will be the leaders from the countries, and kind of. Okay, my charge will turn off.
You said your charge would turn off?
We are realizing that this corruption is going on, but also I don't know how the cartoon will be, but it's also offering kind of solution or triggering young people to get involved in these anti-corruption actions. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Valentine, I'm back.
Hey, Valentine.
Yeah,
We were just talking about
was
you that you did a good job with the code of conduct.
Yes, yeah. So I was disturbed by the network here. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
So, yeah. So maybe did you have a look of it?
Yeah. Yes, I
Yeah,
did.
we did.
It looks great. Good job.
Yeah, so I need you will help me to improve with your new suggestion. And as you have seen at the end, I think this code of conduct will be discussed and approved by the committee of chairs. So I don't know what do you think about.
Is he breaking or it's just me?
Yeah. No, it is breaking.
Out. Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah.
hello.
Yes.
Hello? Okay, Aya, you were talking about
Do you
something
hear
else
me?
before Valentine
Sorry.
came in.
Well,
He got
lost connection.
disconnected, yeah. So you were talking about the caricature campaign? Hey, Aya?
Yeah, I was just. Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just talking that of course we have to refine more like the target, and so it's just the basic idea, but of course we have to narrow it down and refine it more. But yeah, as I said, it's more of mocking corruption itself. It's not like mocking persons or figures, but it's like mocking corruption through the action of these people. And and it's actually a good point that you mentioned, Rahel, because people might understand it that way,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for those of
Yeah.
us who cannot draw, how can we contribute?
By
So
disseminating the cartoons, by making them popular.
That would be a good function for me. As if I draw a caricature, they will arrest me. It will be terrible.
they were
No, I
right.
mean, no, but see that's where that's why I think it becomes an issue. I think in general we have this sort of culture of respecting our elders, right? Or not embarrassing people in public. I mean, it happens all the time still, but in general, it's seen as having like not good manners, or it's considered rude to do such type of things. And then of course, we get so many caricatures of African leaders that are very stereotypical too, which undermine the diversity of our challenges and our situations altogether. But then there is definitely those type of cartoons that, like you said, show the image. It's not about the figures, but um, you know, that I totally understand. Earlier this year, I got in contact with a African cartoonist. He's from Tanzania. It was like a university assignment. We had to. It was about media and propaganda, and I chose to present his cartoon because it was one of the most powerful for me. Yeah, how Western media depicts Africa. Maybe you've seen this one. You see this Western media guy with a camera, and he's only pointing to disasters and nothing positive about Africa. Anyways, I got in contact with this guy. And he seems like a really good guy. He has a lot of very good cartoons. And maybe if we do this campaign right, we can get him to also be like I wouldn't say it's not a sponsor. This guy is not a rich guy to sponsor this campaign. But maybe he could be part of it as a sort of figure, as a patron or of some sort. And then maybe he could also make, I don't know, short videos for African youth to understand the power of cartoons and caricatures and how they can use it to pass. I don't know. I have this guy's contact information, so
That's
if
cool.
that would, yeah.
Definitely shoot him an email. That would be a good boost to add to the campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a great when you mentioned like that you used it and you explained with it the narrative, because we can also include kind of interpretation of the cartoons so that we direct the campaign into direction we want and not make people just talk about what they want to talk about.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be great if he can make a video and explain and also make some interpretation of the cartoons.
Yeah. I will. I don't know if I can. I'll share it with you, Aya. Like his web page, and then so people can see his cartoons, and you can decide how you want to share that with the other members.
Okay,
But
sure.
I'll share his information. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Great. I also that I put on the agenda. So one of I forgot his name, but one of them contacted me because I talked once about having having just like Adine having it like the voice of diaspora, having AYM inside PYU as a civil society, and I mentioned that during the Congress last year, and then now
what you said earlier that you talk about.
So the PYU is the Pan African Youth Union. And it's more of like affiliation to the African Union, and it's kind of youth councils in different countries with their delegations that work as an umbrella for African youth, and they advocate inside the African Union. But so I was in the Congress of PYU with Rahel last year, and I was talking to some of them, some of the new elected leaders, about they should have a civil society seat in their structure. And so one of them contacted me recently that they've been talking about this, and they've been advocating for this to happen, but it didn't happen for the past months, and etc., etc. So I really want to know your opinion on this, Rahel, because you were inside the structure. Because now they kind of asking me to draft a letter and send it, and you know, the official protocol and all of that, to send this letter to advocate for this seat of civil society inside their structure.
Yeah. I don't have the statutes in front of me right now, but there is a place for civil society, or you call continental organizations, and through the African European partnership. I think ADINA and what they call it, NIOA, the Network of International Youth Organizations in Africa, they do have a place there. But you know, sometimes when it comes to PYU, you know, they're working so much on their own structure, right? Trying to get national youth councils to establish themselves and to function properly, that especially in the past, we haven't been able to integrate or partner with these organizations as much as we should, at least not outside the European African Youth Partnership initiative that was taking place. I think we can still send a letter, right, and see what they say, try to go through some sort of protocol channels, but they will ask, you know, how many members we have, what are our programs, all that stuff. And I think in that letter we should make it clear that we're not competing with PYU, right? Because African Youth Movement and Pan-African Youth Union sort of sound alike, if I can put it that way. Yeah, so I think we can try. It's just that we shouldn't get our hopes too high up.
Actually, for me, it's not more about getting AYM there, but it's more about creating the seat. Because, yes, Adine, the last time, didn't really actually become an official representative.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, Aya?
After the finished. And Niowa is it. So, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you now. Hello?
Yeah.
You cut off again. Hello? Hey, Aya?
Yeah, I don't hear her at all, no.
Yeah. I hope she's not just talking.
Hear me? Oh my god.
Yes.
Now I can hear you a bit.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Quickly. What I was saying is that there is not yet an official seat for civil society really inside PYU. And I think if it's the biggest network of Africa in the continent, there should be some kind of a voice beside the political voice in there for civil society. And yeah, Adine and Niola are kind of partners, and you know, they come here and there, but I think there should be some kind of official seat, if it's AYM, if it's other NGO, but how the structure will be, how they can elect a new network every year to represent African youth, that's another thing. But at least to have that exist, just like in African Union, you know, to have the seat for young people to exist, you know, there.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, maybe we can, I can draft something with Rose and send it to you and see if we can send this letter and see what happens.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Another thing on the agenda?
I think that's it. But if anything else we need to discuss.
I think unity among the chairs. I've not been here for long, but I do not know how it really works because I do not know anybody yet apart from you, Rahel, Valentine, and somebody else that came in this and just disappeared. So I think if we could build a really, really strong bond, it would really, really propel us forward. So that anybody that's coming in would want to be part of whatever we've built so far. So if we could all introduce ourselves, or I don't know, make each other's acquaintance, really get to know each other on knowing what everybody is going through. I know when I came online, you were talking about somebody having an incident and needing our support. Like just knowing information like that about each of, especially the core members, just getting to become basically friends or family. And I think we will be able to work a lot better and collaborate a lot more because in the long run, each of our committees, they do intertwine. Like education will intertwine with agriculture, diaspora will definitely intertwine with every other committee that we have. And if we could really build a good relationship, it will be amazing to work together and achieve most of our goals because we'll have a common interest. She disappeared.
Yeah. Oh, I had disappeared.
No, I did.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say that, since we have the AYM core team Facebook page, maybe we could use that to our advantage too.
Yeah.
Yeah, to get to know each other or to just post things regularly.
Yeah, we could use that definitely.
Yeah, I see that she added you to the group quite recently.
Yeah, I just got in. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna send you a friend request.
Yeah, right. I should have done that. Since I'm the one preaching unity, I should have been the one to send the request.
Well, it's okay. It's okay. I sent you one.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. Whenever she gets back online, I'm not sure when. Anyway. So you do work, right? Where do you work at, or is just school for now?
No, I don't. Yeah, just school.
Oh wow.
It's very hard to get jobs in Sweden.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's very extremely hard. You have to know the language, which is very difficult for me personally. But yeah, I'm just studying.
So why did you choose Sweden?
My husband used to live here.
Oh, okay.
So we moved back here, like where he used to live.
I see. Okay. But overall, do you like it there? Do you see yourself staying there for?
In some ways yes, and in some ways no.
No.
Because I definitely prefer to be back home.
In Eritrea or
yeah.
US? Okay.
Yeah, in the Eritrea. Okay. But especially when you have a child, Sweden is a very nice country.
Oh yeah, okay.
And although they have their challenges here too,